Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
We were really worried about the construction and about how hard it was going to be on business.
A local landmark faces some tough decisions after construction closes it off from its customers.
But a surge of support from the community is helping to change the conversation. Valley News Team's Veronica Marshall explains.
We saw them slowly buy up the bread store, tear it down. We saw them start moving, Holiday gas station closed, was gone.
This Moorhead neighborhood is changing, but one thing refuses to become just a memory.
We have so much love for this place, we couldn't see it go.
But the business faced a setback earlier this year. The long winter forced the Tasty Freeze to delay its opening. Now the shop is open, but because temperatures are heating up, it faces a new challenge. When it comes to summer in the Fargo-Moorhead area, two types of cones come to mind: ice cream cones and construction cones, but the two don't always mix well. The roads around the Tasty Freeze are closed due to construction, eliminating the possibility of drive-by business and making it harder for loyal customers to come through.
We were concerned, wondering if we're going to have to change our hours and work more morning and have coffee and stuff for the construction guys and then be closed at night.
But those fears have been replaced with hope and gratitude thanks to a social media post.
And it was just a random post that I had come over here last week and worked my way through the cone zone to get an ice cream cone, and just wanted to remind people that if you make an effort to do that, we can help this business survive through this road construction.
I kind of teared up reading it. So I'm like, this is amazing to hear.
So what's your reaction to that your post had an immediate positive impact on this business?
That's amazing. Every single person that did that last night, that is amazing. And I'm so happy that they did that, and I hope they keep doing that.
Since then, business has been booming, keeping the local tradition alive of making memories at the Moorhead Tasty Freeze.
Gives us hope that we'll survive this all summer and that we won't have to worry and scramble as much.
If all of us stick together and support this business will be here. I'll bring my grandkids to this business someday and tell them the stories.
In Moorhead, Veronica Marshall, Valley News Live.
The road in front of the Tasty Freeze should reopen in about a month, though construction will be ongoing. What's your favorite memory of Moorhead's Tasty Freeze? Share your story on Valley News Live's Facebook page.
Today felt a lot cooler after yesterday's 70-degree day. Hutch, does that mean rain is on the way?
Well, for some, a few sprinkles are taking place tonight, but most of us maintain dry weather. It's just gusty and it is dusty in places. Peak winds today exceeded 50 miles per hour in Cooperstown. Many of us with over 40 mile per hour peak gusts today. Temperatures falling out of the 60s now in the FM area, holding on to those 60s in Fergus Falls and Wadena for now. A few sprinkles, as you can see on the radar, and clouds moving along the international border. As we take a look at this, they're just hit and miss sprinkles, nothing too heavy, and they certainly won't last too long. Up north is where they'll stay. We have a red flag warning until 8 thanks to the dry and tender vegetation and the gusty winds. These winds will continue gusting until around 10 o'clock, then subside as we slip through the 40s this evening. It'll be clear here in Fargo. Likewise, we'll be close to 30 degrees as we go through the 30s, I should say, in Grand Forks as we head into the overnight hours. I'll have details on how cold we get overnight. We'll talk a little bit more about our weekend unsettled weather here in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
Police are asking for your help in finding a teen from Grand Forks. 15-year-old Jasmine Metcalf is missing and considered to be a runaway in possession of meth. Authorities say Metcalf had been picked up by two adult men, William Billy Davidson and Adam Blankenship, both of Williston, North Dakota. If you have information on Metcalf's whereabouts, contact law enforcement.
A Grand Forks man is being held without bond after he was found guilty of sexually assaulting a 6-year-old child. 51-year-old Jeffrey Krogstad was charged with gross sexual imposition after the child attended an unrelated therapy session last year and shared the sex abuse with a therapist. Court documents state Krogstad would take the child to a special place in the middle of nowhere, take her pants off, and would place a small vibrating thing on her body. Krogstad will be sentenced in September.
We have more information tonight on a disturbance in South Moorhead a little over a week ago. Police now say a second person was involved. On April 17th, around 10 p.m., officers were called to the disturbance. They found a man and a woman in an apartment. The man, 47-year-old Kevin Haas, was eventually arrested on probation violation after jumping out of the apartment and running from the cops. A family member says that he continues to recover from injuries. Well, police now are saying 23-year-old Alejandro Vasquez was the one who showed the victim a fake gun before robbing the people in the apartment. He could be looking at aggravated robbery and possession of a controlled substance charges.
DNR conservation officers shot and killed a bear today in a residential area of St. Paul, Minnesota, saying the animal posed a safety threat. The male bear was estimated to be 2 years old and 115 pounds. His carcass will be processed and the meat will be distributed to people in need of food. Authorities say because of how dense the homes and roads are in that area, it was unlikely the bear would have been able to escape to a more suitable habitat. The bear was trapped or cornered in a tree, and with a lot of onlookers, the DNR says the bear could have become agitated. They say it's not unusual to see bears in the spring since young males are searching for new territory and food at a time when berries and vegetation are scarce.
Former Vice President Joe Biden, who announced today that he's running for president, will hit the road campaigning first thing next week in his childhood home state of Pennsylvania. Biden was scheduled to begin in Pittsburgh, where he'll receive the endorsement of the International Association of Firefighters and speak about rebuilding the middle class. It's that middle class that'll be key to Biden's campaign, says Valley News Live chief national political analyst Greta Van Susteren.
The one thing about Vice President Joe Biden is that he's very personable. Whether you're for him or against him, agree with his politics or not, everybody likes Joe Biden. And when he says something, you may not agree with him, but you don't feel like you're spun by him.
You can get more thoughts from Van Susteren during our one-on-one interview this afternoon by going to valleynewslive.com.
North Dakota's former Senator Heidi Heitkamp is leading a campaign to help the Democratic Party win back votes in rural America. Heitkamp and Indiana's Joe Donnelly announced today they're starting an initiative called the One Country Project to help Democrats reopen the dialogue in areas where people traditionally vote Republican. The group says without rural support, Democrats will fall short in electoral college votes in 2020. Heitkamp told KFGO Radio, one-party voting in rural America is a formula for disaster.
This Saturday is National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day across the country. It's a time to prevent drug addiction and overdose deaths. In Polk County, residents can drop off prescriptions from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the county sheriff's office in Crookston or at the East Grand Forks Police Department. In Moorhead, you can dispose of your pills from 10 in the morning until noon at the Main Avenue Walgreens, or from noon until 2 at the 30th Avenue South Walgreens. You can find more information on takebackday.dea.gov.
Casey's General Stores and Come & Go are teaming up with Convenience Stores Against Trafficking to help the fight against human traffickers. Employees will undergo special training so they feel comfortable calling police if a suspected trafficker or victim leaves their store. The stores will also place stickers in restrooms with information for victims who need to call or text the National Human Trafficking Line. Come & Go has nearly 400 store locations, while Casey's has more than 2,100 stores.